Just to recap on what we were doing last week, Wednesday, we did task number 1, activity number 1, and my take will is that that task has been completed by all of you. Is that correct, colleagues? Colleagues, are we there?
Yes, we hear.
Yeah, I'm saying the activity number 1, it has been completed, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just waiting for others because there's only 3 of us here. Okay. Now we are 4.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon, sir. Supposed to be starting with this activity today.
Afternoon, everyone.
And good afternoon, sir. We did manage to complete this activity number 1. And then we did touch base on conduct procurements. We did speak about it, and then we did touch on control procurements. And we concluded here on when I was trying to say, let us do the activity number 2 in reference to the portfolio. So we're gonna kickstart here with activity number 2 because activity number 1, it has been completed. Before we can do today's session. Which we'll be looking at the cost calculation in the project. Excuse me. Colleagues, in this manner, in this fashion, rather, let us continue with activity number 2, because I think we won't be waiting and time is of the essence. I will project the activity number 2, what was required for us to do in that portfolio of evidence. This is what you needed to do, create an ad for you to get a supplier. And this was the activity that I needed us to kickstart with in terms of control procurement session. Then you decide to place a request for a quote, RFQ, in the local newspaper to source the independent contractor. Then you will create the terms of reference for the potential supply. Colleagues, are we together?
Yep, yeah. Let's move on.
Colleagues? Yes. Can we kickstart the activity number 2, please? In your groups, but there is no groups. You'll do it in the same way that you've been doing the first activity. Because we stopped here on the activity number 2. So I'd like us to start there so that we can move on. Is that okay for everyone?
That's good. Gareth, off you go. Lead.
Yes, please.
Gareth, please lead. Guys, I'm not sure if you saw my message. I just gave apologies. I've got a few work constraints. I'm very short staffed. So I'm just going to be listening. I won't be able to be that responsive. Sorry, guys.
Okay, cool.
So Mark, you need to
Taylor?
step up today.
Mark Taylor, you want to lead, but have we got time constraints, gentlemen and ladies?
Yes, please. Yes, indeed. We have limited time. And if we need to complete this, I don't want to fall behind when you are going to your second module.
Okay, so we need to create a terms of reference for the
Yeah.
potential suppliers. So
Yes. In your portfolio of evidence activity number 2, you need to source out a request for a quote to a local newspaper because you want an independent contractor. And then now you need to create terms of reference for the potential supply. And also create the evaluation criteria you will use to shortlist the potential suppliers. And you have received the RFQs of 3 potential contractors, and they are listed here. Using the information above, make a decision which contractor you will appoint. Use the criteria you developed to evaluate each contractor. Then you will write you write a letter to the 2 unsuccessful bidders as to why you didn't take them. They were not accepted. Then you explain the process you will follow to maintain the procurement records you received from all the 3 bidders. And then you conclude. Colleagues, may you start, please? This is what you need to do in class. Can you start discussing and you will report back? Can I give you until 12:30?
That's good.
Okay, thank you. I'll mute myself.
Cool. Okay, Marcus, off you go. But
okay, the terms of reference. So we're going to put in there what is expected from the suppliers.
okay,
And then the amount of and type of work to accomplish. So they need to clean up the local park of harmful and dangerous objects. So we need to put this all in this terms of reference.
okay, cool. I agree with that. Anybody got else? Anything else to add? My understanding, what I'm reading here is basically we need to put an advert in the paper that's going to attract people to bid or quote. So before we can do that, we need to determine what is, for example, the scope of work that needs to be done. So we have to say what it includes, which is basically this dilapidated toilet that's going to fall over, and what you call it. Obviously, that is what the scope of work is to basically demolish this old toilet, take all that rubble and remove it. You know, what is excluded in the thing, we also have to state in this thing where we're asking people to give us a price. We have to say basically, cleaning up the other crap is all excluded. I think there's other things that where they say basically we and the team can do that, so that's excluded from the bid that we're asking. We also have to tell them the time frame, which is given in the paragraph, It's only to happen within working days, those 5 days. So the time period, it's basically 5 days, excluding weekends. And we obviously need to tell them when they need to start and when they need to end. So it's not set there what the dates are, but I guess we need to make up a date of some sort that stipulates that 5-day period. This is it. And then obviously they need to give us, the most important thing is we want to know is their price. And I think another important thing here, because this is government, they probably want to know BEE statuses, because we're going to have to, once we get all this information and we collate it, we're going to then have to use a selection criteria type of scorecard or something that's going to basically indicate to us how we're going to select the successful bidder. That's my contribution. Anybody else? Hello, am I still on?
Yeah, we're still on. So, hey, I'm not able to contribute much because I missed the session last week due to my network. But from what I'm reading is that you are running a project. So the project is running, and then you are looking for subcontractors who are going to demolish the dilapidated building. So I feel like obviously I'm not 100% sure if I'm correct, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. You will need someone who is experienced in demolishing buildings, and then number 2, you need people. You need the subcontractor needs to provide the human resources that will be able to push the work and be able to complete it in 5 days, within 1 week, within 5 days. But that's how I'm seeing it. I know it's not much, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. No, there's any other contributions. If we look at how we did our other things, we basically used the 5 points that's there to answer. So we're still on question 1. So would we be able to collate or summarize what we've discussed here? 5 critical points to make up what they're saying in terms of reference, the scope of work. Yeah. Will everybody be able to do that? I don't hear anybody talking. No.
Yeah, I think what you said was right. We need to
Can
put
we-
those in for the terms of reference.
Yeah,
It's advert in the paper. So, I mean,
can you just summarize basically what was all mentioned now? Marcus, then we all got a good idea and we move on to the next one.
All right, guys. How's it? Sorry, I'm just putting things aside. Oh, there, Louisa said something also. So let's just break it down like a brainstorming session. So right now we need to put this RFQ in the newspaper. So we need to explain what we want to do, what we need. So we need to break it down first. So where would we want to start? So we would need to know the location of the place. So we need to pick, it will be obviously the park. And then what will we need to tear down this building? We will need people to do the labor. Then we'll need things like the equipment. So we'll need heavy duty equipment. Guys, you can stop me or chip in, please.
Look, my understanding is, Gareth, we're going to put an advert in there. So yes, that's a good point that you mentioned. I forgot about that. The location, we need to, I don't know if we need to actually say where this park is, but yeah, maybe that's an important thing. But in terms of how it's going to be done, We're just going to tell them we got this broken building here that is quite hazardous, needs to be broken down. And how they come with their bulldozers and their slamming machines, whatever they do, that's their thing. All we're saying is we want it done in 5 days. What's the price? Remove the rubble, and that's the set period. And I don't know if we need to tell them the location already, but we're just talking about this one section, creating the terms of reference for the potential suppliers. I don't know if I'm misunderstanding it. That's my understanding. So we don't need to go into nitty-gritty detail about how they're going to do it. We want someone to give us a price. I know with government, there's always a triple BE component, so we would probably want that also. I don't know. Status, also, I don't know if that's going to affect the bidding, but basically that's the information. We need to get information from these people in terms of price. Can they do it in a set time? And that how they're going to do it is obviously you would like to know, like was said earlier on, these people must be experienced, and we're not going to take a person that's been camping all his life now and decided, hey, it's a building opportunity, let's go and demolish this building. So we're going to and a track record with the complete thing. How do we get all this information? By putting an ad in the newspaper. That's my understanding.
And if you want to do it your way, you can do it your way. Just lead the group. I just gave my impression of it, because you can't get someone to do the work or to quote if they don't know the scope of work. That's basically what an RFQ is. We need to know what your actual requirements are. So we can't just say you're coming out to demolish a building. Do you need health and safety? Do you basically need equipment? Do you need how many people do you need for this task? There's a whole bunch of scope that we need to describe to them in order for someone to respond with a quote to you. As well as, do you need somebody there to basically remove all of the rubble? This is the picture I'm trying to paint to get towards the 5 points.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I understand what he's saying.
So you can't quote. So if I tell you, I need you to come fetch my car, and then you respond with a tow truck, yes, it will cost me 500 rand. But now I haven't described to you how far it is. I haven't told you that all 4 tires are flat. I haven't told you that the car's parked behind our house, which we need to obviously open.
Yeah.
We need to cut this gate.
Yeah,
So
that will be the location. Okay, I agree with you.
So it's all of these qualities that we need to describe. So someone will be able to respond with a quotation, and then obviously the government will obviously elect the best candidate around it. I'm not sure if everybody agrees with me on that. So that's the whole sort of objective I was basically in. So if you look at it, this building's basically sitting there. It's basically destroyed. So now you can picture the building. It's obviously got an old roof on it, so we can't just tear it down just basically willy-nilly. So we're gonna have to get a health and safety on site. We're gonna have to get some sort of contract surveyor on site, because they need to basically assess which way this building's going to fall, and to make sure that nobody gets harmed. And then with that, how many people do we need to basically do it? We need 4 people probably to basically demolish by hand. Then we need someone who's got experience driving a sort of excavator. There's a lot that goes into just demolishing a building or doing any sort of work task. So that's where I was getting for it. I going for it. So that's it. So I've obviously done the location. I've put people to do hard labor, an experienced excavator. Sorry, I'm typing as I talk. We need a heavy duty equipment will be required. This will obviously be like a jackhammer, as well as the excavator. And then health and safety and then we'll need a health and safety representative, as well as safety equipment for all people on site. We'll need a contract surveyor to assess the site. To start, we will need rubble removal. Rubble removal. And yeah, that's where I am. So I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 points I've got. Anybody else want to weigh in there?
We can move on to the next question because we have a clue on what we need to do on the question. So in order to save time, I must move on to this next question.
Okay, but how do you think that we're on the right level, or because I can see Mark has a bit of a different view of it. What's your view?
As I said, I missed the session last week, but so far from the points that you guys are giving, I agree with you guys.
Missing the session last week is no excuse.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You both, Gareth and Mark, yeah, both have valid points, and I think they will. This is now just for creating the terms of reference for question 1. So yeah, I think we can move on to the next one.
All right, cool. Mark, you back on. Bye.
Okay. So question 2, what is question 2? So let me just move down here. To create the evaluation criteria we'll use to shortlist the potential suppliers. So we're going to probably get 100 people there and we need to create a shortlist. It sounds logical. So, and they say we can reference our learner guide to give us some guidance on how we will evaluate for the evaluation criteria. So on the learner guide, what is the evaluation criteria that will play a role? And I think we did cover that very briefly, a little bit somewhere we've seen things. So I don't know. Any ideas?
I think experience, the
Experience. I did read somewhere ahead in this learning thing. So there's going to be some form of scoring card.
yeah.
You know, you take all these things and you go, okay, that one scored 10 and that one scored 5. I think there's something I briefly read about. You know, we'll have to have some form of scoring mechanism to give us an idea. Okay, so that's the one thing. We need a scoring mechanism. And then what components would be on this scoring mechanism to influence us to decide the right thing. That's what we're talking about, a basic document, you know, like a page. Okay, that one gets 10.
There's functionality, price, and BBBEE.
I think that's what I also read about. So you're saying functionality?
Yeah, functionality, price, and then BBBEE status.
Okay. Price. BBBE status. And we also mentioned experience or a track record, that they're not just some company that just woke up after a good day's fishing and decided, let's make some money.
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, a track record. So that's about 4. We need like 5. Is it another? Anybody got another one?
The guarantee of quality of work.
Okay.
They should also be able to produce a reference list that will ensure that we will use to ensure that the experience that they say they actually have it, and then they've worked on the projects that they say they worked on.
Okay. So in summary here, we said functionality, price, BBBE status, experience, track record, and a means to check it, which is what you said was said in our reference list. And Gareth said the quality of work as well. So obviously those are of key evaluation criteria. So this, in my understanding, the way this actually works in practice, this goes on a little, and basically these people get rated 2 for that, 1 for that, and eventually we will come up, and the one that scores the highest is going to basically be more than likely awarded the bid. Okay, everybody agree? I don't know.
Yep, I agree.
Can we move on to the next one? Okay. Scenario continued. So now we received all these RFQs of 3 potential contractors. Now we have to apply this and make the selection criteria. So let's read it. Basically, how much is this one's marks? I don't know. So it's 5 times 3. So basically, we would have to say how we're going to, I mean, if you had looked down here, we could see already the criteria. It's also in here that we mentioned in question 2, I think. I don't know if you guys agree. Okay. So contractor 1 will receive these 3 RFQs. Local community member with a strong vehicle who will demolish the building by first knocking. This is his plan of action, Gareth, basically. It down using hammers, then remove the rubble with his own truck. He has a team of 3 individuals who can help him, and he's scheduled 7 days for demolition. The price quoted is 14,250. I think in that scenario, first thing to notice is he's going outside the time frame.
100%.
So that's the first thing I would notice, which is obviously going to count against him in this matrix when we go, and if we had our little document now to mark these elks off, which we don't have. But okay, we got the idea what should be on that document. Then contractor 2, I don't know if there's anything else that I'm missing here in terms of how he's going to do it. Is there anything else that stands out, guys?
On the first one.
Besides that, he's going to take longer than the asked for time, which is 5 working days.
Now, I think that that he's going over the time already. That will most probably disqualify him.
Yeah, so what I've done is I've basically highlighted 7 days for demolition in red, and then I've highlighted the price in green because that's the pro. So obviously those are my pros and cons regarding that sentence. And then also as well, he's going to use his own truck. So that means he's only got 1 truck. So the dependency is very, very strong on the success rate on his truck, and also what can his truck load. So those are the 2 negatives I put in, but the price is obviously a positive.
Okay. It's stranger. I'm looking at the price ranges. One is 14,250, the last one is 15, and the other one's about 34. So I don't see any mention of this track record or anything here. So clearly that couldn't have been in our terms of reference that we wanted, but okay. Let's read this. A well-known construction company. That's a big clue. Now let's read the other one. Local community member with a strong vehicle. So a well-known construction company and a local community member with a strong vehicle. So I don't think this guy's got any experience. He's got a strong vehicle. He's going to get a couple of guys together. He's in the community. It's probably going to stand him in good stead for his triple B. But that's the key thing. He's just a local community member. He hasn't got a business. There's no reference to that he's done this before.
They have no experience.
Yeah, no experience. So that would have been in our. So that's something also I think we should highlight. I don't know if you guys agree.
Yeah.
The contractor 2, we know, is a well-known construction company. So this guy is obviously well-known. It's good if you saw the name, we could actually just see if he's well-known for good work and not shoddy work. But okay, we know this guy has done it before, contractor 2. He's done it with large construction vehicles, Gareth, as opposed to the one you were talking about. And a team of 6 experienced members. So this guy he does this all the time, you know. from everything that they say, but obviously we still need to vet this. But from the sounds of that, that sounds like your number one guy. The vehicles will knock the building down, pick the rubble up and remove it using a lorry. The company schedules the demolition to take place over 2 days. Wow. The price, however, is 34,500. So just look at those two difference of those prices. This is double. He's double going to do the work in half the time. This oak, we'd actually need to see if this oak is going to, how he scores on triple BE. Whereas, I mean, the other one, I don't even think is a business. I think this is just a guy that's going to just do the work, which is might score him well because you want to generate work in the community. I don't know, but okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about there? Those are key things. So there we're saying.
Yeah, no, he's well known, but his price is a bit high, so I think that might
His price is high, but he's going to deliver it in half the time.
half the time, yeah.
Everybody's experienced here. These guys, they just fell off the bus now the other day. They've been doing this all the time. Obviously, if we get the name of the company with the bid, we would actually be able to verify that this is so. We could see their reputation. Maybe if they got a site or whatever, we could even get their triple B statuses and see if that will stand that company in a negative state or not or whatever. So those are all criteria that I think influence our selection of the final bidder. And then contractor 3. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to talk about contractor 2. Nothing else.
All good.
Contract. Says Gareth.
I said I'm all good. Basically agreeing with you guys with contractor 2.
Contractor 3, a small construction business owner from the city who will use small explosives, controlled and according to health and safety procedures, to demolish the building. All of his team members who usually assist with the construction will remove the rubble using 2 small buckets. The business owner schedules the work to be done in 4 working days, so it's within the specified time period for a price of 15K. So here we go. This is a small construction business owner. Okay. And he's going to use his equipment with small explosives. He's going to blow up the building, controlled and according to health and safety procedures. Does that pose a risk? I don't know. How do you control it? It's not going to bloody blow up someone's windows next to the park. I don't know.
But it states there. So it's going to be controlled. So normally when any explosives or anything construction is in a controlled environment, so they'll obviously ensure that everybody's evacuated from the area. They'll check the direction the building falls, and it will be a controlled thing. And then it will also be in accordance with health and safety procedures. So they will make sure everybody's got the right equipment. They in the right vicinity from it. So for me is the explosive is obviously a faster method, and then obviously they have basically all the appropriate people on site, and they've also looked at all the appropriate measures to get this done. But the team is basically smaller, and then with that, obviously, they got 2 small buckies. So if something goes wrong, they basically have the backup as well. And then the business owner is scheduled to and they'll basically do it within 4 days. Me personally, I think our contractor 3 is the route to go, as both of those I've highlighted red factors in contractor 1 and contractor 2. So that's my input.
Yeah, I think contractor 3, his price is nice, and he's doing it in a good time, 4 days.
Why do you guys think that contractor, the other 2, the one seems like just a fly-by-night guy who's just seen an opportunity to make some money. The other one is price is quite close, but why would this contractor 2 has got all these things? Why would his price be almost double?
There's
And
big lorries.
That's the thing. Oh, sorry. That's the thing with well-known and more experienced contractors. They skyrocket
Inflated.
their prices compared to the ones who are smaller. Maybe they're starting. Their quality of work is 100%, and the price the price is reasonable as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and also contractor two shows that he's got a whole lot manpower, a bigger vehicle. So those things will contribute to the costing factor
Yeah.
of his code. So the reason why we think, yeah, your question was why wouldn't we pick contractor two? Yeah.
Yeah, I said, I'm just asking a question. Why is the price different? And I think you've just answered that now to me. So in the end of the day, if he's got a far bigger team, he's got 6 experienced workers, pick up dingers, and the vehicles will. And so, how big is his team? Is he actually making more profit, or is it because his team is bigger? And
He's actually doing the work in less time. So he's doing it in 2 days over the others who are doing it in 4 days. And everything will be done much quicker. And remember that when if you can do something quicker, you will make a little bit more profit. And yeah. Yeah.
And also, there is no assurance that they will remove the hazardous material. They'll be able to remove the hazardous material safely and dispose of it.
Was that part of the criteria?
Obviously it says that there's hazardous material. Obviously, when you need to do the project, you must be careful of that hazardous material, ensure that it doesn't spread, and then you must ensure that you dispose of it safely.
Yeah, and you guys must note that now that guy 3 is going to involve health and safety.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So in summary, we pointed out quite a bit of things here now, and I think we need to move on. So, who says contractor 1?
It goes for contractor 3.
Who says contractor 2? I'm actually tending to, if this guy, I hear that it's a very good point that that well-known, what you call it, obviously it could be inflating its price, but I mean, if it wasn't for the price, contractor 2 would have been my choice all along. If I could find a means to see that he's not ripping me off with his price, as big companies do, he would be my favorite actually.
But look at this guy, he's knocking the building, he's knocking down the building with a truck, bro. Like, come on.
Where is it?
Yeah, they say it's right there. The vehicles will knock the building down.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't know it's a truck or a car. You don't know. How do you know it's not this bulldozer thing that can push a wall over? I don't know.
But either way, even if we don't know, that's not a way to demolish a building.
Yeah, because it's also a health hazard as well. If in case something goes wrong and the vehicle is injured, so that 2 days won't be enough as well, because they still have to go up and go and look for something else. So if somebody's got a plan and already it's stated that it's gonna work and they're following processes and procedures.
Yeah, it's risky for the driver as well. What if one of the bricks falls and then goes through the windshield and hit the driver? You see.
But again, if we look at it on a secondary eye, it says he's a well-known construction company, right? So he might have a wrecking ball, and that will also add to the negative on it will be the price. If he has got a wrecking ball and that crane to wreck the whole thing, it's unnecessary expenses. We can do with the saving of that 15 point something thousand rands. So the reason why is because the other guys have got explosives that are controlled, so they will not hurt anybody. They are within health and safety measures. This guy has got too many vehicles that are going to be working on this thing. So contractor 3 will be a better bet when it comes to saving money and doing the job appropriately and controlled.
Okay, so that's another one for contractor 3. Okay, guys, we've got an idea of what we're going to say. I think that's enough. Is there anything else we want to discuss on that?
I
Guys,
think we can go on to the next
Yeah,
one.
we can go
Question-
to the next question.
so here's the information about. Make a decision. So you've made your decision whether you chose contractor 1, contractor 2. Okay, nobody's going with contractor 1. So it seems the majority is going to contractor 3. But we need to use the information about make a decision, and we've now appointed our contractor. But now, I think in the end, we need to let the guys know why they were successful. We write a letter to 2 unsuccessful bidders where you explain the reasons the RFQs were not accepted by you. So in short, we would have covered that. Can someone just summarize why contractor 1 will not get the bid?
Okay, contractor 1 or his time frame is over the allotted time for this demolition to take place. So he will not be considered successful.
Okay. So that's the only thing you're going to let him know. Cool. Anybody else? Anything else you want to tell the guy?
Obviously, on contractor 1, they won't be successful because number 1, they are not a construction company. It's just a local. It's just a local person who has no experience and no reference list. And obviously, they are running. If we choose them, they will run over the assigned time frame, which is something that we don't want because it will add extra costs.
Here's a out of the way of thinking question. Why would you think these 3 guys made the shortlist?
Can you repeat the question?
I think earlier on they said this guy's made the shortlist or something.
Which one? Contractor 1.
Create the evaluation criteria would use to shortlist. So we got like maybe 100 RFQs, and out of that we shortlisted it to these 3. Okay, no, never mind that question. We've used our criteria we set out, and we came up with these 3, which means they must have met our criteria.
Yeah. So, and then contractor 2, I don't know if you guys are complete with contractor 1, but on contractor 2, obviously they do have the manpower, but their demolition method is not controlled, so it can cause a safety issue. And then they don't have the proper equipment because they'll be using the truck, a vehicle to demolish the toilets or the structure. Number 2 is the price. It's way too high for them to be considered for the contract.
Maybe if we did a bit of what would the actual, how do we know the estimated cost before we look at all these bids? How do we know? Did we do a costing estimate on how much it should be? Did we do some research? Did we use all those methodologies, whatever they spoke about in the manual, to know that we're looking at about, we should know what to expect before we're setting out here. What if they all inflated their prices at 60,000? We can't just say, okay, well, they're all saying about 60,000. We must have a reference or ball. Don't you guys agree?
But you're going off track. We have to work on exactly what is in the statement.
Okay. Okay, cool. Then, so to summarize, and what we're going to tell we don't have to tell the successful contractor anything else, and everybody's agreed that we contractor 3. So contractor 2, we basically tell him, I don't agree that, I mean, the fact that they are a well-known construction company with a law, they're doing this more than anybody else. I think if they've given their name, we would be able to accurately vet. Like was raised, they do tend to, they see government contract, they inflate their prices way above. The fact that the other two, I suppose we could make in the same assumption, are in the ballpark, but I would have rather wanted to know what to expect before these zones even send out their pricing. But cool, the only thing that I can see here is basically the price. Some people might agree with what someone said previously, that also that they're not safe, they don't have they're not doing it safely. I mean, that will be entirely your decision. I don't know who feels that this company will do a safe job or not. Does the majority think they won't? Does? Okay.
No, I think the contractor too could do a safe job. It's just that
The price.
his price, yeah. For me,
Okay,
his
so there's-
price is 40 hard, according to the other guys, you know, the other
Yeah.
contractor.
So somebody, the one thing we all agree on, let's take that, the price is a bit
Yeah.
far-stretched.
Yeah.
And the reasons given were quite good. I remember us discussing that before. Is that it? I think that's it. We write a letter and then we are done with that. I see initially. I'm not changing that thing. I'm just thinking, oh, here's another one. Explain the process you will follow to maintain the procurement records you received from 3 bidders. So somewhere in the manual, can someone give us an idea? What process are we talking about? Obviously, we have to be able to justify or ratify the decision. So this is, we need to keep records so that there's clear evidence that there's no indication of foul play. I'm giving it to my buddy who's living down the road or whatever. So that's why we need to have these records. So can anybody find what they talk about this in the learner guide in terms of the process you will follow to maintain the procurement records you received from these people? It will be somewhere in that manual on the lesson. I just haven't looked now. Can someone look?
You evaluate whether the terms and conditions have been met.
Hmm?
Evaluate whether the terms and conditions have been met.
Yeah.
Conduct an audit on the products received. Is that the right? Am I in the right place?
I don't know, Marcus. I don't know which page you're looking at.
Procurement record you received. Okay. Yeah. Address any outstanding payments. Update documentation and records. Notify supplier that the contract has been completed. Evaluate the process and identify any lessons learned. And then archive the procurement documents.
Okay, that sounds it. Okay, so we're going to archive the document, save it for future reference. Most important there, what I find, we need to evaluate what was done. Was all the things that were specified achieved, and have that documented also.
Sorry,
Yeah.
where are we? Sorry,
What
guys.
page is that on Marcus?
Top of 31.
Top of Learner Guide 31.
Yeah.
Sorry, which question are we on?
5.
5.
Yeah. Where they're saying, explain the process. It's a process you will do. So we're talking about keeping the records, archiving the documents. We need to do a control measure and evaluate that what these people have sent a bid and tender for was actually fulfilled within the contract. Mark also mentioned about paying outstanding payments. So I don't know, maybe we hold back until we're happy that the job is done. And basically we sign off that project. It's now done. They've done it.
I guess so question 4, we've skipped over.
We did it already.
Okay, sorry, I missed that. Okay, carry on.
Question 4 was, what was question 4? Question 4 was,
When you write a letter to the unsuccessful
yeah,
bidders.
you're right, basically letters. So basically we would have made a choice. Everybody agreed that they're going for contractor 3, he doesn't get a letter. Contractor 1, we said there's a lack of experience in terms of, it's just a guy hasn't got a company. contractor 2, everything would have been fine. Pending his price seems to be overinflated, which they say experienced companies do. That was basically in a nutshell. Some people also felt that him using bulldozers and trucks and whatever to break down might be hazardous, which is contrary to the statement that says that they are well-known construction donors with so much experience and all this stuff. So that is a contingency. You might feel that yeah, they might not be able to do a safe, effective job, and other people might feel that they would, just based on the statement made. But what we all agree is that the price seems to be. We didn't, like you said, on maybe drifting off the park, was wanting to know what is a ballpark figure to expect. But what we can see is 2 prices were very similar, and one was almost double. And a very valid point raised there was that reputable, well-known companies do tend to want to overinflate their prices when they think there's easy money made. I was of the opinion, are they actually going to make such a profit if their workforce is bigger? But then someone pointed out that they're going to do it sooner, which is also a cost saving. So that all points out they probably are overinflating their price. That's my summary there. I think that was it. So now we're done. We can move on to the next one. And Mark just gave us the information, explain the process you will follow to maintain the procurement records. You'll find that on the top of the learner guide 31. And we just need to apply that to the scenario. Okay, let me finish. We can have the lecture back. Any questions, guys, or I don't know, anything else you want to talk about? Hello?
I think that's, I'm all good.
Okay. Well, I think we're over time. 12:56 of my time. Shall we move on or what?
I think I gave you an ample time to do this activity. And yeah, who wants to talk through this activity and tell us what do you have been discussing, and then on the way forward as well, and whether or not did you answer the question as to what it was seeking for us to address. But I've been listening, but we can just summarize the reporting.
Okay, for
1 until 5.
Sorry. Okay, we got to create the terms of reference. Question 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Setting out what is required from the bidders and that. And then question 2 is, how we're going to evaluate that criteria on functionality, price, experience, etc. Question 3, the 3 contractors, the one was not an experienced guy, and he was going over the time. Contractor 2's price was too high. Contractor 3 was in a nice, comfortable zone. He was within his time frame, and his price was all right, and he had health and safety on his side. Then question 4, just write a letter to the 2 unsuccessful bidders stating why they were unsuccessful. So with contractor 1 was his time frame and his experience. Contractor 2 was his price was too high, and maybe but it wasn't, his demolition wouldn't have been up to safety standards. And question 5, explain the process, maintain procurement records, when you evaluate the terms and conditions have been met, conduct an audit on the products received, address outstanding payments, and That's it.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting how you looked at it, which is something that in any project will be applicable. And you are in the right path, but now I'm worried now. Everything that you were discussing there, it should be exactly what you need to do on this activity. In terms of reference for potential supplier, obviously you need to beef it up and or with the risk assessment plan as well. Remember here, in this scenario, there are hazardous things that they need to be disposed somewhere else, not in the landfill site. The landfill site doesn't take the hazardous things. So in terms of reference, when you seeking for that potential supply, be mindful obviously about the risk as well. How are you going to manage that risk? Because all those things that are hazardous and they can be hazardous to the community and not everything will go to the landfill site in terms of the rubbles and how you're gonna mitigate that that plan. So it needs to be in detail, colleagues. Now we are summarizing what the activity was seeking us to do. As well, when you go to evaluate the criteria, you need to have someone who's knowledgeable about part of that project and who has done it, who has experience. Those are the things that you will be looking for.
But wouldn't that
And
fall into
obviously,
health?
when
Sorry,
Sorry?
Tom, but wouldn't that fall into them stating that they are moving within the health and safety regulations?
yeah, it has to be something that is in detail, yes, in terms of how this contractor or this supplier will be managing all this safety. Obviously, there are rubbles there, and you don't want to have a project that will impact on other people's lives. In terms of when you are taking those rubbles somewhere else, safety is of the essence. Will that rubble be covered? How you gonna do you want the truck that is covered on top, or you want an open truck, and how you wanna manage that those rubbles not to fall on other people's streets or on top of whoever that is working on the. So those are the elements that you need to emphasize and check and balances in terms of the safety, because you're moving things there from that park somewhere else. So safety is of the essence. And now, when you write a letter, specify why were you not selected in explanation. Obviously, it's to regret to inform you that you were unsuccessful in terms of what the specification were all about. You didn't meet those specifications. In terms of reference, you need to have this specification in place. This is what you need, because people need to be there knowing to when they want that to read that local newspaper. We must have a full specification as to what is required of them. When you do a project, specifications are of the essence, and we did touch base on that last week. Specification in any project, it's important. Or you can narrow it down as a project scope. This is the project, what will be entailing. This is what we need to be done in that part. But because we were given a scenario, you are all in the right path, but I need us to be mindful that we need to be in detail and be mindful of the max allocation there. 2 times 5 is equals to 10. So you need to write that letter straight to the point. Company X, Y, and Z, we regret to inform you that we are not successful in the RFQ requirement of this project X, Y, and Z, and therefore keep on trying for other projects. And yeah, at this time it's not the right time for you and you were not successful. Explain the process you will follow to maintain the procurement records. Yeah, when you're doing any project, archiving is very important. Record management. Because should you need to revisit in that project, you should know who supplied you with what and where did you get the items, is it made, the equipment and whatnot and whatnot. So record management is very important. Okay. Are we all clear? Thank you. Let's continue, colleagues. With what we need to do today, we'll touch we conducted this last week, the stages of the project processes. I'm not gonna say much about it. Of course, in any project, you need to control procurements. And this is exactly what we were trying to do in that activity. Controlling the procurement process means controlling the suppliers. And that's exactly what that activity was unpacking for us as well. As mentioned before, the procurement plans forms part of the project plan. And as the project progresses there, procurement must be controlled by project managers, which is yourselves. It is also crucial that the project manager manages all documents, like I was indicating now. You need to archive those documents because sometimes things can arise from there. You need to do what? You need to revisit your project. How did you plan it? How did you source your items? And who was your supplier? And I thought I should zoom in and talk about it more there. But it is in your study guide. We did conclude this last week. Before any procurement process can be closed, the following activities must be completed. Evaluate whether the terms and conditions have been met. This is what you need to do. Conduct an audit on the products received, address any outstanding payments, update documentation and records, colleagues. Okay, we're busy with that activity. Now we'll look at the cost calculations, because in any project, you need to cost everything that you are doing. So now you need to calculate. In project management, you must calculate your cost. Cost calculation and the items you needed to conclude when budgeting project costs. We are going to look at the calculations involved when measuring area and shapes. For example, if you are a project managing the construction of a house and you have to buy tiles for the floor, you will have to calculate the surface area of the house, square meters, be as it may, or whether you wanna calculate it in millimeters and the size of the tiles so that you buy exactly what the number of items that you need of those tiles to cover that project. You don't wanna do back and forth while you are in the middle of the project, then you realize that I might be running short of the tiles. So you need to do that calculation, and it will give you an indication as to how many tiles that you will be required to complete that project. And further example will be if you are managing a project which provides a delivery service to your client, calculating the distance you will have to drive could influence the cost, colleagues, because you have to pay for the petrol used. And obviously in that activity, when you do your specification, you need to know the supplier, is he gonna be able to cover the radius to do for the dumping and whatnot and whatnot. So others might come and say, I'm gonna dispose the items at the 100 kilometers. Is it worth to give that person that tender or that project, because he or she will spend more time on the road than delivering to what is required. Measuring and estimating. For an example, you may want to know how far you have traveled in a car, how much paint you need to paint the walls of the house, how heavy will be the products. Like I was saying there, those rocks and rubbles. So you want to have a shorter distance than 100 kilometers going there to dispose all those rubbles. The products that I need be and will my delivery van be able to bring it on the side in one trip, or you will need a special delivery van. Obviously, those rubbles, you need a special truck to dispose that rubble. Length and distance. For an example, the length of a window will be the distance from the side, from the left side to the hole in the wall. Where the window needs to be the right side of the hole in the wall. So the distancing and measuring is of the essence. Is very important in any project. And of course, when you're measuring instruments and the units we use for measuring length as the length are as follows: kilometers, meters, centimeters, millimeters. You will want to check whether or not when you are measuring the distances, you are using which other form of measuring lengths, which will be those ones. A kilometer, that will be for traveling if you are using a car or a truck or whatever. Meters, then when you wanna check how many meters do I need to cover for that project that is required in terms of putting the tiles, and or you want to use centimeters or millimeters. In order to have the accuracy and avoid confusion in measurement, we need to convert one unit to another. Like for instance, we do not measure the length of a pencil in kilometers. It's very impossible. In such a case, one have to convert kilometers to centimeters. And I thought I should put these examples. This is where you display the conversion of one unit to another. Centimeters moving to millimeters, a meter moving to a centimeter, a kilometer moving to a meter. So you will do that conversion timesing by 10 or by 100 or by 1,000, or you can also, when you are doing a conversion, can also use the division side of it, as it is illustrated there. And these examples are in your study guide, colleagues. You can have a look at them as well. And also when you are looking at volume conversion, if you have a 5 liter bucket of a paint and with 2 liters for a paint left inside it, the capacity of the bucket is 5 liters, while the volume of a bucket inside it is 2 liters. And there will be those units there and symbols that you may want to use. Kiloliters, liters, centiliters, and milliliters. And also here, the volumes can be converted like this, as illustrated there in your study guide as well. Weight and mass conversions as well. They're illustrating it like that, tons, kilograms, grams, and milligrams. You can also convert it the way they are illustrating it there, if you come across to the conversion in any project. And we'll look at the ratio. A comparison of a 2 or more numbers that are usually of the same type of or measurement. If the numbers have different units, it is important to convert the units to be the same before doing any calculation. And you want to do what? You will write the numbers in a ratio with a colon between them. For an example, if there are 8 employees who travel by bus and 12 employees who travel by a taxi, then we say we have a ratio of 8 employees traveling by bus to 12 employees traveling by a taxi. We can write it as 8 to 12, as illustrated there with those columns, 8 to 12. We can also simplify this ratio to 2 to 3 by dividing both parts by 4, and it is important in which order you state the ratio. A ratio of 1 to 7 is not the same as a ratio of 7 to 1. So I thought I should put this, but they're in your study guide as well. Should you be confronted in any project in doing your conversions, the length, calculation, the cost, and the ratios. But in many projects, obviously, we'll be confronted with the cost calculations in terms of the distance, the square meters, and. In my experience, I haven't been confronted in any project where I have to do the conversion of volumes, the mass. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, there's also activity number 3 that we need to look at. Any questions so far? Colleagues, activity number 3 is required for us to do this in terms of practical calculations. We need to do this activity. There are about 8 questions. Are we there, colleagues?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, can we do activity number 3? It's about calculations. You complete that activity and we do the reporting back because there is what we need to an area and parameters as well that we need to look at. And these are the examples there. These activities in reference with the conversions and the calculations. Where you can use kilometers, meters, and how you do the conversion. So you need to do that exercise, colleagues. And I put the examples, but they're in your study guide as well. How you convert a volume, doing volume conversion. This is how you do it. Where there's millimeters and liters conversions. Weight and mass conversion, the tons, kilograms, grams, milligrams. And I gave examples there of ratios. How do you distinguish the ratios? And that's where we are now. Can you start?
Okay, what instrument will we use to measure or calculate the width of a page? A ruler?
Yes.
Okay.
A ruler has 2 sides on it, centimeters and millimeters. So you may want to use any side of it.
Okay. And then temperature, we'll use a thermometer.
Yeah. Okay, discuss in your groups, in your session, but yeah, this is the activity that we need to do.
Okay.
Right.
I think the other guys have all got load shedding.
Yeah, I'm just between 2 meetings at the moment.
Okay, then a percentage multiplied by 100.
Are we catching up to speed? Okay, we're on question, your learner guide for evaluation criteria. So cost equipment, no, wait, I'm on the wrong thing here.
3.
Sorry. 23. What is the instruments? The width of the page.
Yeah, okay, it's a ruler. Temperature, use a thermometer. Percentage, you multiply by 100.
No, two. Percentage, you use a calculator or arithmetics. Not formula. You're using formula there.
Okay.
Why doesn't Chile lead this way?
No.
Nah, come on. Okay, then the next one is 2 times 4. What's calculate?
Arithmetics.
So we're doing mathematics.
So basically, okay, 1, the width of the page is ruler, temperature, thermometer, percentage, calculator or arithmetics, 2 by 4 arithmetics or calculator, the total of 45 numbers, calculator or arithmetics, time, clock, the floor area of a room, the floor area of what? Huh? The tool we use there is
Can you
also.
slow down,
We
Chile.
can,
Ah,
Yeah,
Louisa
running.
talks.
Where are we? We are on the total of 45 numbers. Arithmetic.
So the floor area will be a measuring tape.
What is a measuring table?
Measuring tape.
Measuring tape. Yes, perfect.
You'll use both, I think. Measuring tape.
Both what? Sorry. What's the
Okay,
other one
use-
in there?
You're going to use a measuring tape and a calculator. So you measure the one length is 2.5 meters, the other one is 3.4 meters to get the area. You need times the length, the breadth, or the length, whatever, it's a square, and then you'll get the area. So you're going to put that numbers that you measured in a calculator and multiply it by each other. So you're going to use two tools.
So three actually. Measuring tape, calculator, and arithmetic. You need that arithmetic.
What is arithmetic? What is that?
Arithmetic is okay. So it's basically mathematics, but then you use the formulas in mathematics. So we need the floor area here. So we'll need the width multiplied by so it's width by breadth or something like that. So that's arithmetic because they're asking for copulation, instrument, or computational device.
Oh, but then on 2 times 4, isn't that then just an arithmetic? I'm going to do it
Yes.
in my brain. I'm not going to use a calculator. I'm just going to say 2 times 4 is 8.
Well, I mean, a calculator and the brain are actually the same thing. Just the other one is digitized and the other one is personal.
So the arithmetic is a personal.
Yeah, it's the formulas that you use to calculate things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that tool at all, but I'll put that there. So that's arithmetic. A
Mass.
percentage. So a percentage would then be both. You'll use the arithmetic to get the
Calculator, yes.
the fraction. So I mean, if you it's 3/4 of thing you want to find the percentage, so it will be the fraction 3 divided by 4, whatever, times
Yes.
100, like Mark said. So it's a calculator as well as arithmetic.
Yes.
Okay.
Distance between two towns. Yeah, that could be it.
Google Maps.
That's actually a good one. Yeah, Google Maps. Why not? Yeah,
For which one?
Google Maps.
Distance
Or
between
Google
two
we
Earth.
towns.
can also
They
use
actually-
a laser distance measure.
No, there actually is a thing to measure the distance between two towns. It is actually called an opus meter.
Opus meter.
Opus meter.
How does it work?
It's like this. It's like a compass-looking device, and you put it on the map, like on your old school map.
Yeah.
And by moving it along the map, it actually measures the distance like that.
Okay. So like the linear thing that you pull on Google on Google Maps.
Yeah.
Like that
okay.
linear line. So you put a dot and then you stretch that dot to whatever town that you want, and it does that calculation for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is like more of a. It looks like a compass almost, and and you basically push it along the map lines, and it calculates it.
How do we spell that? OPPOSMETR.
OPISO meter.
OPIS.
There we go. Someone's got it. So, but Anthony's already Googling.
Yeah, of course. Use all the tools.
But who measures sugar in a sugar pot? Come on, people.
You can. So that you obviously use a measuring cup, I would think, or you can also use a scale.
But why would you be
Fair enough.
measuring it in a sugar pot? Why are we measuring it? Like
I do not pull a mock. We're not gonna ask these questions. We're just gonna answer it.
A scale, yeah, I think that will work.
A
I think they
measuring
wanted a
cup.
teaspoon there. They want a teaspoon, but let's give them a scale.
Yeah. Because that measures the weight. You have to measure the weight of it, and then you have to count. No, wait, a scale might not work with the sugar, because then you have to measure an individual grain first, and ensure the scale.
Measuring cups, guys.
No, man, listen.
Yeah.
What do you
The
do?
sugar
with
is
You
in
can
the
sugar?
measure
pot.
everything at the same time.
You're probably going to use it for coffee or tea. So I would say the tool used there is a teaspoon. 2
Yeah.
teaspoons of sugar, 3 teaspoons of sugar.
Yeah, you can't use a scale, even though it sounds quicker, it won't work. Okay.
Ready.
Oh, now I gotta jump into another meeting. I'll be back now. I just need to give Solo.
Okay, let's move on. Using the figure below, convert the following measurements into meters. So we know that there is 1,000 millimeters in a meter. So in short, we need to divide those two things, those three answers there by 1,000 to get it in. Oh, sorry, not three, because that's in. And there's 100 centimeters in a meter. Okay, so let's start with the first one. 100 centimeters in a meter. So to convert 280 centimeters to meters, we're going to have to obviously show how we got our calculation, which is basically divide, let's say something like centimeters to meters. There's it showing us the centimeters to meters. Meters to centimeters or whatever. Meters to
Centimeters
centimeters.
to meters, you divide by 100.
Centimeters to meters. So we can convert that.
No. Centimeters to meters, you multiply, guys.
Yeah, it's the other way around. Meters to
Centimeters to meters, you
meters to
multiply by 100.
centimeters. You got meters to centimeters. You got a times by 100, and to convert centimeters to meters, you divide by 100. So if you look at the arrows, so we take 280 centimeters. So I think it's important because it's 2 marks per question, 3 questions. The one thing we say centimeters to meters equal, you've got to divide by 100 and then you give the answer. Okay.
280 divided by 100, yeah, 2.8.
Yeah, 2.8. Everybody agree? Moving on. Next one. Mark, you can take the next one.
Okay, 56,100 millimeters. To get that to meters, so millimeters to meters. So first you got to change it to millimeters to centimeters. So divide by 10. And then you're going to divide by 100 again.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, obviously, according to the study guide, when you
Or
divide,
divide by 1,000.
yeah,
Yeah, you just divide by 1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean that it doesn't say that we can actually do a deduction that if there's 10 millimeters in a centimeter and there's 100 centimeters in a meter, then clearly there's 1,000. But that is, everybody knows there's 1,000 millimeters in a meter. So we can just do it one step, divided by 1,000. Everybody agree?
Okay.
Next one.
And 3.7 kilometers to meters is you're going to kilometers, meters, you're going to times by 1,000.
But what was B's answer? Sorry, I missed that one.
56,100 divided by 1,000.
56.1 meters.
Yeah.
So it's divided by 1,000. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Next one, 3.7 kilometers to meters. So how many meters are there in a kilometer? In a kilometer?
1,000.
you have to multiply by 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which gives us an answer of?
Wait, did you guys say multiply by 1,000? So we're turning
Yeah.
everything into meters. So
Meters,
we should
yeah.
divide those kilometers by 1,000. 3.7 kilometers divided by 1,000, yeah? Or is it multiple?
No,
No. It's
you
multiply.
multiply
There's a
from
1,000
kilometers to meters.
If
So
you
we
look
have
at
to
that
multiply.
diagram there, you can see.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see.
To convert kilometers to meters, you can see the arrow goes from kilometers to meters. You've got to multiply it by 1,000.
Alrighty.
So we basically going to get 30. What's it? 37. What's it? 3.7 times 1,000.
Yeah, 3,700.
Yeah, 3,700.
Okay, so we move on.
Okay, question 3. Nkuleko has found as a painting contract after completing one of the 2 houses he needs to paint. He found 5 2-liter bottles of paint. None of these bottles are full. The bottles contain the following amounts: 375 mils, 150 mils, 190 mils, 780 mils, 630 mils. How many liters of paint do the 5 bottles contain altogether?
Okay. Off you go, Mark. We're listening. So basically, what you know is you got to add the
Yeah, you got to add all
them,
those
but
together.
most importantly, they all have to be in the same measurement to add them. You can't add liters. I suppose you could, but if you know, but we want them all to be in milliliters, which are now. So we can add them all together.
Yeah, you can add them all. It's going to be 2.125
You're answering in liters.
in liters. Yeah, 2.125 liters.
Liters. Okay, cool. Next one.
So sorry, guys. Where we question how many liters point to the 5 bottles contain together? Is that where we are?
Yeah, how many liters of paint do the 5 bottles contain altogether? Yeah, so you add them all up and it's 2.125 liters.
Yeah, what you should notice there's also it's 2 marks now, so we're going to add all that. The answer is going to give us basically 2,125 liters. Then we need to say that
Divide by, yeah, 1,000
milliliters.
to
Sorry,
get,
then we need to divide it by 1,000 to convert it to liters to get 2.125.
Calculator. Louisa, you still with us? Or must you talk faster so you can talk again?
I'm here.
There we go.
okay, and B, wants to combine all the paint into as few bottles as possible. Which bottle would be the best to store all of the liquid? 1 liter, 2 liter, or 5 liter bottles, and why?
All right.
Who did all
Okay,
that calculation? What did you guys find? All
It's
those.
just
bottles?
over 2 liters. So you're going to use a 5
bottle.
liter.
Yeah.
I think we'll need a 5-liter bottle.
Yeah.
Because it will have as much space as possible. So, and then we'll have fewer bottles.
I'm lost here.
Okay, there's
Why?
600 team members.
So are we on question B now? Eh?
Question B is 5 liter. Yeah, we've done question B. 3AB. Then question 4. There's 600 team members working on a large construction project. The ratio of male to female workers is in this project is 3 to 5. How many females and how many male employees are in this business?
3 females and then 5 males.
Yeah, but there's 600 team members.
Oh, 600. Okay, so we just.
Yeah, no, the fraction, remember a ratio is always a fraction. So there, to get that fraction, to get the ratio itself represents the numerator. So that is 3:5. So
15.
it's 3 of a total of 8 parts is the one fraction, and 5/8 is the other fraction. So you work out 3/8 of the total of 600. And that will give you the number of females. And then you work out 5/8 of 600, and that will give you the remainder, which are males.
I think we found Mark's strong points. Maths.
But
Yeah.
I did maths on a higher grade and got an A+, but in matric. in matric, so this is definitely my forte. But okay, it's 30 years ago.
How many females and how many male employees are in this business?
So how much did we come up there with the answer so that you can just Marcus? Don't tell me you came up with a half a person.
No, so if there's 3
But it-
females,
What is 600? How many times does 600 go into 8? And then we just times that by 3 for the one and we times.
Yeah. Give me 2 seconds.
Percentage calculator.
75.
So it's 75?
So it's 225 male.
225. How many female? It's first is males to females. So males is 225, and then the balance will be what's it?
Yeah, will be female.
375.
375, yeah.
Okay, male and 375 females. Okay. Very important to notice something that was mentioned in the lecture that we did before this, that the ratio is very important. So it's a respective fraction. So if they say males first, the first one is it will refer to males.
But this is looking for 3 marks.
Huh?
It's looking for 3 marks, yeah.
You can as long as you got your math formulas right, it should work, man. I think probably just to recognize one of your marks will be is to recognize that 3:5 is the same as the fraction 3/8 and 5/8. In other words, 3/8 plus 5/8 gives you 1. That's the whole. That's how you start your formula. Then you put the whole 600 on the side and you do your own formula manipulation. Marcus, move on, but is everybody on board here? Because this is quite, I don't know, I'm finding this part quite easy.
Okay, and question 5. You appoint a bakery that bakes bread for a local school. For a feeding scheme project you are running for the community, you buy raw materials for your bakery from millers who are your suppliers. They sell the flour at 10 Rand a kg, but you require 50 kgs to produce 100 loaves of bread. Okay, so 10 Rand a kg. What will the cost of the 50 kg of raw material? What will be the cost of 50 kgs? Okay, it's 10 Rand a kg times 50.
Yeah, so 1
It's
kg.
500.
Yeah, you're right, Marcus. I agree. That's quite straightforward.
Yeah.
It's 500 kgs. Everybody agree? Get it? Or 500 Rand, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say, not 500 kgs.
Yeah.
Sorry, 500 Rand.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Obviously, we need to, because it's 4 marks, we must just remember to always show how we did the calculation. I remember in school, if you give an answer, you just get half mark. You could actually get more marks showing how you got the calculation than actually giving the right answer.
Yeah.
Next one.
Okay. B, how much flour is used to make a loaf of bread? Okay, so 50 kg, there's 100 loaves of bread, 50 kgs. So it'll be 100 divided by 50. No,
50 kgs.
50 divided by
100.
50 divided
kgs.
by 100.
That's 100, yeah. So yeah, you divide, the old mess.
Yeah.
Divide the right, the dinners get 1. So yeah. So what's it? Answer?
12.5. Half a kg, 500 grams.
Yeah, Everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, if you wanted to carpet the training room, question 6, what size carpet would you need to buy? Show your formula or calculation. using estimations. Now, how big is the,
So we need to establish, so let's just pick a training room size. 10 meters by 10 meters, because we don't
Okay.
have any.
okay, so 10 by 10, so it's going to be 100 square meters
Yeah.
of carpet.
Big thing. Aren't we lucky we have such a nice size training room, huh?
Yeah.
10
Okay,
by 10, 100 meters. Okay, that's a ton.
now 7, calculate the following. Show your calculations. 27% of 333. Okay, so 333.
Are we coming to this funny numbers now? I'm missing something.
Which one?
What numbers are we busy with?
Number 7, calculate the following.
Number 6, if you wanted to carpet the training room.
Oh, so we basically, the training room we are all currently sitting in at the moment is 10 meters by 10 meters.
Oh, so you chose that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because-
can't you see the training room we're in?
Yeah. Mark, don't overthink it. It's maths. Stay there. Keep your mind here. Stay with us.
So what did this come out here with 100?
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
big our training room is.
100 meters. Yeah.
Okay, question 7. 27% of 333. So 333 times 27 divided by 100 equals 89.91. Be 3/4,
What was that answer, Marcus?
89.91.
29.91. I will just do it later on. I'm just writing it down. Okay, cool.
Okay, then B 3/4 plus 2.
BODMAS, buddy. This is where BODMAS comes in.
Yeah.
2 divided by 5 first, and 4 divided by 7, and multiply the values in the brackets first, and then you add it to 3/4.
Yeah.
That's how you
2
get that.
4 divided by 7.
Wait, start that formula again. The
Yes.
calculation.
2 divided by 5. Which is 0.4, 0.4. Okay. Which is 4 divided by 7.
Yeah.
4 divided by 7. 0.57.
0.57, you said, huh?
Yeah, 0.57.
So it's 0.57 times. What did you say? 0.4.
0.4. 0.57 times 0.4 equals 0.228.
So 0.4 times 0, you said, huh?
Yeah,
What did you get? 0.228.
yeah.
228. And now obviously the one being
Then
a
you're going to
fraction of
plus
the other. you need to
3/4, which is 0.75.
Yeah. It's important you show that to someone. Okay.
Okay, plus 0.75 equals 0.978.
75 plus that. What's the total answer, Mark?
0.978.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, C. 1/3 of 96. That's 32.
32, yeah.
Plus 3/4 of 44.
Hold on, I'm trying to get to my next question. Here's my question.
So it's 32.
Okay, it says 1/3 of 96 plus 3/4 of 44 minus 20% of 110. Okay, so first of all, 1/3 of 96 is 32.
That's 32 plus,
Okay, 3/4 of 44.
that's
Yeah.
11, 33. Plus 33,
Yeah, plus 33.
So it's 32 plus 33.
Yes, minus.
so 20%, that fraction would be a fifth. 5 goes in there twice 2, it's 22. Was 22. 44 minus 22 is 22 is what I get.
What are we minusing now? Where do we get the minus now?
1/3 of 96 plus 3/4 of 44 minus 20% of 110.
And the final answer is 22, 55, 85, 87. What do you get, Mark?
20% of 110 is 22, eh? Because 60, 80, no, 30, 65 minus 22. 65 minus 22. So it's 43.
I got 52.
Okay, 1/3 of 96, everybody got 32.
Okay, yeah, 32.
Right?
Then it's
Plus
plus.
3/4 of 44 is 33.
Correct.
Right? And then 44 you can't look at first. You must first get what is 20% of 110. And Mark, you work that out as it looks to me like it could be 22.
Yeah, 22. 20% of 110 is 22.
44 minus 20, 44 minus 22 leaves you with 22.
No, where you get 44 from? It's 3/4 of 44.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So,
No,
so 1/3
you're
of
reading that wrong.
96
You're
plus
reading that wrong.
3/4 of 44 minus
3/4 of 44 is a 33 that we
it's
already got.
33. Yeah, that we got, yeah. So the 1/3 of 96 is 32
Yeah.
Yeah.
plus the 33 for the 3/4 of 44
Yeah.
minus 22. So 32 plus 33 is 65 minus 22,
Yeah.
43 equals 43.
That gives you 65. Yeah, 43. Everybody agree?
100%.
And our average of
Yes.
16, 22, 24, 18, 21,
62, 72, 80.
20.2.
101 divided by 5, eh? 1, 2.
Yeah,
What did you get, Marcus?
20.2.
Okay, cool.
100 divided by 5, you said.
Yeah. 101 divided by 5.
101.
What I say.
Yeah, in what units will you express the following readings or measurements? Cool drink in a
Really?
tin can. Milliliters.
Have you guys also got all these blank spaces between these questions?
Yeah.
That's my brain when it comes to maths.
Distance to the stars?
But did you say milliliters? You're going to use
Decimeters.
milliliters there?
Yeah, milliliters. Distance to the stars, light years.
I was going to
Yeah.
say like this.
Mass of a packet of sugar, grams, or yeah, you get kilograms of sugar. So mass of a packet of sugar. So grams or kilograms.
I would say grams.
I would say grams and kgs.
Unless you could get that big packet.
Okay.
We buy
Because I buy kgs.
Speed of a bullet, meters per second.
Isn't it feet?
Where you living? Are you in America?
What? Yeah, it is feet. I googled it. It's feet because I know
But
when
that
I'm
Google is
shooting.
American.
Okay, we'll say meters.
Use outfuck.
Next, you're gonna say temperatures in Fahrenheit as well.
Or feet per second. Temperature in Celsius, right?
Yeah, Celsius.
Water in a drum.
Fahrenheit.
Water in a drum.
Liters.
Breadth of a room. Square meters. Oh, no, meters, sorry.
Size of farm. Acres.
Hectares, acres. Capacity of a truck. Tons.
Capacity is horsepower, isn't it? Marcus,
I don't know. Is capacity how much the truck can hold, or
The truck can also
Capacity.
be because the
I
truck
think
can
it's
also
engine
be liquid
capacity.
form. It
I
depends
would
because
say- I think it's engine capacity.
no, I wouldn't say engine capacity. I would say liters. Load.
what?
Let's Google it.
Weight. Payload capacity. The
What is
payload
it measured
capacity.
in? Joules.
Pounds, gross vehicle, single X, pounds. No, not pounds.
What is the
It's-
answer for capacity? What did we come up with?
I found payload, and that's I've heard that before. Yeah, it's payload. So it's basically what goes in the back.
Okay, so tons, or it's a truck. And then distance between two towns, kilometers.
Marcus, so what did you come on the truck thing now? Max load. So it's 16 ton. You get a 16-ton truck and you get a 5-ton truck, so it's ton.
Oh, it's
Tons,
in tons, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put tons in there.
I put
Capacity-
payload tons.
And then the last one, distance between 2 towns, kilometers.
Yeah.
So is that it?
No. We still got.
Oh, we're done here.
Oh, we're done. Yeah, sorry, we're done.
Might as well move on to the next one too. It's going so well now.
Yeah, let's just get this module done. Flip. Yeah, I think Sabu's going to stop us. He should stop sharing. I think we're in trouble.
But it's 2 o'clock. We're done.
Oh, okay. Look at us working as a group.
So what is the order of symmetry, guys? For the triangle.
So as I understand, it's so if you take a straight line from each direction of it, so from corner to on top to bottom. So triangles symmetry will be 3. So if you go top from the first top downwards, that's 1. And then from the other corner to the other to outwards, that's 2, and the other one will be 3. That's what I'm looking at.
But that's a really, I hear what you're saying, but that's given. What do you understand by symmetry?
That's what I'm. A symmetry triangle is a chart pattern characterized by 2 converging trend lines, connecting a series of peaks and of peaks.
All I know is I look at that things and all those shapes are symmetrical because all their sides are the same. So that's an equilateral triangle, that's a square and not a rectangle. That pentagon is 5-sided with each side being equal. And same for the hexagon. That's what I noticed. I don't know what the question is. That's what I don't know.
So if you Google, so I think the best way is to, if you Google the image of it, it will explain instead of using a word. I think it's best to Google it. I Google asymmetry triangle, and it will show you exactly the diagram of how the measurement works.
No, but you've got to Google equilateral triangle.
Huh?
You've got to Google an equilateral triangle. All those sides are exactly the same length.
Don't ever think it. Just Google
No,
it.
that is how it is. And the other one, it's like if you Google a rectangle and you Google a square, you'll get two different definitions. But you'll find
so
all of them.
So as I said, a triangle will be 3, a square will be 4. Let me see if I'm right.
Yeah, the suffix of the word explains it. Tri is 3, a square concept 4, but penta is
No.
a suffix for 5. Penta
1,
means 5.
2,
Hexa means
3,
6.
4. 4. So a square is 4.
Important, but the square is all the sides are the same length. So your length and your breadth is the same.
A pentagon is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Like I'm saying, the word, if you look at the word very quickly, is what in words construction is a what they call a prefix and a suffix. The prefix basically tells you penta means 5, hexa means 6. Tri means you get a tricycle, it's got 3 wheels. A bicycle's got 2, bi, understand? So that's why they can make all those statements there, but I don't know what they're asking. They talk about symmetry. So I look at symmetry, they say beauty is about symmetry. So if you look at someone and they've got one nose that's going straight down the middle of their face, and both their eyes are exactly the same, and the one is not squinting, then you would consider that symmetrical or beautiful. So symmetry to me is the same. I don't know if you Google what symmetry means. I don't know.
Okay. So according to, so a triangle is equivalent to 3, a square is 4, pentagon is 5, and hexagon is 6. It's not much different to the sides of it.
Okay, colleagues. Very interesting interaction there. I can tell the maths in you, it's very powerful. Wow, you know your maths very well. I've been listening, and yeah, you are good at mathematics.
The only thing I'm good at.
Yeah, I think let us stop here. I think activity number 4 will continue next week. That will be it for now, because we are here until 2. I don't know whether you wanna still go on with activity number 4. We can resume activity number 4 next week.
Yes, I think that would be great. Thank you.
Oh, that's good.
Thanks.
Can I
Yeah,
just
we'll
ask one question that's actually been confusing me through the whole, I know it's going back, but when we did our summary on formative activity 2, I'm very confused why they do mention there are hazardous materials in the park, okay? But
yeah.
what has that got to do? I'm not understanding what that has got to do with the request for the RFQs. I don't understand, because it says clearly that me and my team will collect, whether this be, soos hulle sê nou in Afrikaans, hulle rook 'n dagga-pyp is bottlenecks lying in there, or heroin addicts that have been using syringes, that constitutes dangerous materials in the park. It's got nothing to do, in my mind, or my view, the way I see it, it's got nothing to do with me requesting a tender to break down a building and remove the rubble. I do understand what you're talking about, the safety in terms of the vehicle that's used and that the brick could fall on someone's head. And yes,
Yeah.
but I don't understand why you mentioned the hazardous stuff cannot go into the landfill site. Because
it's
that
human
is
waste.
what happens to do with the tender. Sorry?
It's a human waste. It's from a toilet. You need to properly dispose of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're
Very
talking about
interesting question that you are
the
come up.
actual
You
crap.
are
I
coming
didn't
up.
think about that. Thanks, Gareth. You're talking about the actual crap that might be stuck in the toilets. Though.
Yeah, the poo.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. That's
Yeah,
clear
There's
enough.
a drainage system maybe under the structure, under those old
Yes.
toilets.
Okay, sorry, I missed that totally. I never even considered. Thank you so much, guys. That's all. Help me understand that. It's been bugging me the whole time. I can't figure out what it is.
And you may want, Mark, you may want to outsource it as well as a private a project where you get the, the septic trucks that they will come and
Pump up the crap out, yeah. You know?
yeah.
We got the thing like that there in Betty's Bay where they don't actually use drainage. They got what they call sewage tanks, and these tanks come and collect.
Yes.
So I do
Yes.
understand now. It makes more sense. I just totally forgot about the actual sewage. Thank you so much.
No, colleagues, I think I will stop here. We'll resume it next week and see how far can we go, because at least today we have done 2 activities and it was a carryover from the last week. So precisely we have done 2 activities, and let us see next week. And obviously going in depth with the theory as well. And yeah, I think we can stop here for today.
Okay, thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Okay.
See you next week. Be safe, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, everyone. Enjoy your day. Bye.
You too. Thank you.